do.
Honestly, yeah.
Because then you can get into your placements for different genres.
I was gonna ask you real quick. Is there any way I could borrow your guys' car to run to like the bank and the rooms real quick?
I think Walter has it.
Oh.
I was gonna have it because I have somewhere to go in the evening, but he said he's gonna come back. It's gonna be just in time for me to. So today won't be a good day.
Okay, for sure.
I could probably help you out tomorrow, or Walter could drop you off tomorrow. But
Are you going that way when you leave?
I'm going to Idaho Falls.
So yes, that way.
Yes.
Okay.
After we drop off Walter.
Okay. Well.
So I might be able to drop you off somewhere potentially? Question mark.
Do you know where like Gringos and like the Beehead Lake over there are?
Yeah, Bruno's is just like it's like a 15-minute walk from here.
I know.
20-minute walk.
I haven't actually been out of bed. For
I understand. I totally understand. I'm not judging. I'm not judging. Just letting you know. Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's hear you on this. Too shallow for opera and classical. You need to put more pucker.
Okay.
Put tension in the chords. Yeah, it's already getting rounded. Yeah, so you kind of, the reason why you lost down the note before a little bit is because you went like, you did something, instead of the focus right here.
Okay.
The focus here.
Okay.
Good, and I love that jaw drop you gave me. You just did it naturally. That was a good instinct.
Okay.
Do that again. Good, you did do one. It was a little funky this time because then you got self-conscious.
Yeah.
Your judge.
Yeah,
It's
that's
okay.
covered too.
It's okay. Let's
Yeah.
go together.
Okay.
Now, let that jaw drop just happen. Like between that G and A, it's just so obvious that it's an acoustic wall, you know. So in order to combat that wall, we just need to have that placement ready to go. Don't be hesitant again. The only way you could do that in between one that you did is if we were doing this note too. Watch. See, then it gives you. But you need it can be distinguished.
Okay.
You can still say E. There you go. Grab your face, Sheila. Good. Now let your tongue go right at the bottom of your gums is the highest it should be. At the top of your gums is the highest it should be.
Okay.
But even slightly lower.
Okay.
Let it naturally do what it wants to do there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Where do you feel it?
It's kind of at the line between my teeth and my gums.
Right around the line?
Uh-huh.
Right below the line or on the line?
On the line.
On the line?
Mhm.
Okay, write that down. If you like that placement, write it down. Let's keep it. That one sounded really good.
Okay.
Awesome. And then that pucker, and then write those ones down if you don't already have them, or star them. It gets so you start filling the pucker right at the G, which is the blend, one of the blend notes into A, the blend between the passaggio and the low mid.
Okay.
And then that draw, that is so super distinguished. I mean, it's minute to other people, but it's pretty, like, it feels very distinguished to us.
Okay.
Good. Now the top note, feel free to slide the tongue down, even just barely further down. Like, let it do what it wants to do there. That richness is starting to pop out. Come out. That one, tongue less low. There you go. You found the tongue placement. Go back to here.
Okay.
Good. Maybe slightly lower than how you have it there, even on the bottom note.
Okay.
Just slightly.
Okay.
Like, it's still a little bit lower than where. I
Okay.
think you kind of keep it a little higher, and that's throwing you off your.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. See around this note, your tongue's wanting to go down. Let it go down. It was shaking a little. And
Okay.
then you let it go down, and then it was like, ah.
Okay. Okay.
Again. Yeah. Do you feel that? It's getting more resonant. It's getting easier for you to sing those notes. Really good. What really helped you the most that time?
Well, a combination of puckering and the tongue, probably.
Okay. So I would make your tongue, typically your tongue's your number one, followed very closely by the puckering, and then third, that jaw thing. I think those three will get you through your passaggio at this point. There's
Okay.
other things that we can think about, but I think let's just simplify at that. It's
Okay.
starting to get a really natural, authentic, rich sound that I think you're already starting to like a little bit.
Okay.
So, okay, now let's go into our belt. Oh my gosh. I almost want to do half of the passaggio range in the belt because there's two lifts. We can go through both of them, and the nose trick tends to help most people get through both of them in the same lesson. But, yes, let's go ahead and go back to here. Oh!
Oh!
Oh! Oh!
Oh, wait. Oh! Oh! That's...
Ah!
Ah!
Push against me. Ah!
Ah!
There you go.
Ah! Ah!
Yep, but don't disengage your abs.
Okay.
Ah! Yeah, now this one's gonna feel weird because it's almost transitioning into that flip, which happens. Where it just barely, it's not as nasally as that one, but it's just a little bit versus which is completely unnasal. It's just a little bit nasally because it's prepping you to belt higher. Yeah, I think cheerleader, like, you know, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. And notice how you're able to take out the nasality on your way down. Yeah, you should not have to. There are people who will stylistically, or because they haven't learned better, be like, I feel this way. And you get what you call the Broadway sound. It's what they're doing is they're trying to keep themselves, I mean, most people it's just lack of knowledge. But some people, they do it on purpose, one, to achieve that sound, but also, two, because it just keeps you prepped for, like, all of a sudden having to crank out those high belties that are already in your nose. So, I'm burning the bridge by the door. Baby's coming home no more. It's so much easier to do. Baby, that first one. Defying gravity. It helps you get into those places faster. Okay, now let's get this one. Push it. Yep, you're gonna have to do wall pushes, okay? And I need you to not relate these too quick, otherwise it'll give you some whiplash that either can hurt here, it can hurt like that, or it'll just be even if it doesn't hurt, it's just not gonna sound that hot, and then you'll have to re-prep for the next note. And so if you have to sing two notes in a row, it'll sound gross by the second note. So keep it. I want it to be like this. And I want the highest part of the note to be when you push out. You can start pushing a little bit while you go in as well to kind of prep you. But I especially need you to use that, and you can warm into it with lower notes. But if you're starting on the note, immediately push. You're not the boss, Mom. And then it's the most whiny. Yes, that's actually super healthy. What you did there was super healthy mixed belt. Yeah, learn from your 3-year-old grandchildren, okay? That is actually really great placement for everything, and that's part of what keeps them sounding cheerleader status. It's cheerleader sounding their status. Okay, so actually, unconsciously, a cheerleader might start talking like this, and it's not because just they want to be popular. It also is just a natural result of them trying to keep that placement without them realizing that they're trying to keep that placement. Unless they get the training, which if they don't naturally adapt placement, their placement when they're actually cheering, it doesn't matter with talking voice, but when they're cheering, then they actually can ruin their vocal cords from extensive cheering.
So they talk that way to protect their vocal cords when they're yelling?
Unconsciously, most of them, yes. Some of them on purpose, but very few. It's the ones that actually get the knowledge, which unfortunately is not a lot of them.
They probably don't teach that.
So
I had daughters.
it's actually a good thing. Yeah, it's actually a good thing that they start talking a little higher pitch, and a little more piercing, and a little bit more nasally. It's actually a good thing for them. It's healthy for them. Now, it's okay if they want to talk down here and not sound like that.
We gotta move on.
But yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Ready? Go. That you took to that really well. What got you there? Just thinking about that one nasally concept.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Good. And how does my tongue look? In the front.
It's kind of low.
It's pretty forward, and
Yeah,
it's not.
It's forward.
It's not
yeah.
intensely low. It's like it's low. It's not which actually doesn't sound that bad. It doesn't follow the same rules as the classical. So if your tongue is better off actually being higher here, because it's loosening certain muscles, then you're good. It doesn't take the same shaping. I mean, the brightest sound you're gonna get is if you keep it to the top of your teeth, and it's not gonna feel as bad. But you can also lower it if you want to add a little bit more maturity and depth. You can, but not by a tongue. You don't want it to be too low.
Okay.
Too low, you're gonna. Good. Now you're doing an in between classical and Broadway mix right there. It kind of in and out. Let's keep it even more forward for even more piercingly belting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Now try to do it without going where you want to hear yourself. That's yawn. There's still a little bit that's trying to keep your face wide. Do you know why? You're trying to hear yourself. Stop trying to hear yourself. Yawn. That's a good mixed belt, but on the classical side, it was good, and then you kind of cushioned it. There you go. There you go. That's a lot more true belt. More true mixed belt. Okay, awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and do a piece of music, but write down whatever remaining thoughts you have about the beltingness that got you there, and about the tongue and everything. But you picked it up really well. But do you see why it's kind of? I kind of laugh at the people that are afraid of teaching the other genres. It's because they just don't have the basic ABC knowledge. Once you understand placement, it's so liberating. You can switch between genres actually pretty fast. I mean, you pick that up in seconds. Some people wouldn't touch.
Yeah, but
genres
applying
at the
it,
same
here we
time.
go, is another question.
Remembering it.
yeah.
Well, you have this, luckily.
Yes.
And you also know how to be a brat because of your babies. The mom. Okay? And then for the classical, you learned how to wake up the back of your throat. Because I would say when you do belt, it almost paralyzes the back of your mouth a little bit. Not quite. If you do the back warm up though, it will actually help your belt be more sculpted on the vowels. So it does help, but at the same time, if you just do pop or Broadway, but especially pop, they tend to almost paralyze the back of your mouth. Like if you don't be afraid if all of a sudden you can't right after you sing a lot of that very forward placement, because it just they get lazy about using that. Anyways, okay, music. Okay, on my own. That's the one you're doing, right?
Yes, this is the one I'm doing.
Okay, let's go backwards. We're going to start at the high, because that's what we're warmed up for right now, right? And it doesn't go intensely high
No, it
either.
doesn't.
But it is right above this first one, and you know it would be like your voice is trying to prepare for this higher stuff. Go ahead and go. Hold on.
Hold
Hold on.
on.
You're trying to cushion it. Hold. Yeah. Push against it.
Hold
Hold on. There you go. World.
What? It feels like it's just in the middle.
Yeah, and world is also a weird, awkward vowel.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's like right there. R wants to come in.
Yeah.
But you could go world. You can technically go world, right, and not even think about the R for a minute. So world. Ed. Sud. Sayed. You're kind of yeah, that's better. You're just slightly classically cushioning it. Saya. There you go.
So what are we trying to do?
World. There you go. We got the going in a place where you weren't cushioning it back there. That's what we're trying to do. Okay. The world is full of happiness.
The world is full of happiness that I have never known.
So you have two options.
Ooh.
The world is full of happiness that I have never known. Or the world is full of happiness that I have never known. We bring the Broadway sound into the classical. Which one do you want to do?
Well, I'd probably end up doing that anyway. Naturally.
The second one?
Yeah.
Right now, yes.
Yes, I think that's probably what I would revert to anyway.
Okay. Let's do it again. Let's warm up into it with
Without me, this world would go on turning. The world is full of happiness that I have never known.
Good, but let's bring it more forward, even if you're going to sing classical. World is full of happiness.
World that's full of happiness that I have never known.
Tongue needs to be woken up a little.
The world that's full of happiness that I have never known.
Good. Now let's get power unknown. No!
No! I'm almost out of breath by then.
Known!
Known!
It's not even just the breath, the placement. It's the placement. Known! That's better. Now, that's you trying to still keep pulling it back. Ooh! Ooh! New! Ooh! Ooh! Nope, too far back. New!
Known!
There you go.
Known!
There you go. Do you hear how much more power that is?
Yeah.
And keep that the whole time you're singing this.
The world that's full of happiness that I have never known.
Known. Yeah. Either you're gonna do full opera. Known. You're gonna do full Broadway classical. Known. Or you're gonna do known, and you're gonna belt it. We'll have three options. You want, and whichever one you choose is you have to consciously 100% choose it so you get that max power. Let's try going known.
Known!
Now you. You see, and you're still putting in classical, but that sounded good. That sounded like a good mixed classical where you're using belt tendencies, but you're keeping it pretty classical.
Okay.
That was actually good. Known! And it was very piercing. I liked it. Do it again. Good. And now let's choose the vowels. What are the vowels on known?
Oh.
In the back of your mouth is the O, right? And also no, right? Yeah, so there is two vowels, but also when you sing the O part, you need to sing O on the back. When you sing the U part, you need to think O on the back. So that's another dimension, right there.
Okay, so say that again. Please
So
sing.
when you O, you need to think
is
O on the back.
okay.
No. You can also think A. Broadway.
Noun.
Do you feel that?
Okay.
Versus the ah. No.
Noun.
Which sounds beautiful and rich for your opera. So you have to choose. Do you want to sound more Broadway? Then it's ah in the back of your mouth.
I don't want to sound totally classic on this or opera, but I don't think I can achieve the total Broadway sound.
Right. No, but even
So
if you're
mix.
not total, it would be mixed either way. But do you want to sound true opera, which is ah while you're saying oh the o part of noun, ah, or do you want the ah? With the in between, which is where you're at.
In between, yeah.
Okay, so then think ah and o at the same time. Ah for the back of your tongue, o for the front of your tongue. Okay, and then for when you go to the oo, think o in the back of your tongue. Good. Yeah, let's just focus on one vowel for a minute.
Okay.
Just o with the a in the back of your tongue. Yep. I have never known. That'll work. That'll work. And now let's go to oo. Now think of an o in the back of your mouth while you're saying oo. Yeah. That'll work. Okay. But just make sure you keep the vibrato either way. Without me.
Without me, the world. Let's see, where are we?
Yeah, his world.
His world.
His
World will go on turning, a world that's full of happiness that I have never known.
No. Just one vowel. Only comes at that very tip. So only thing. Yeah, there you go. Do that again. His world will go. His world.
His world will go on turning, a world that's full of happiness that I have never known.
You're still trying to think of the oo at the same time. Get rid of that oo
Okay.
completely. Just think of just the with the and back. Good. 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 Now think of it really forward. No. Yeah, you had a place. It's going no. No. But now let's go in the middle. No. Now let's go really far back. Okay, now go in the middle. That's where your voice likes it the most right now. How do you feel on there?
It's okay. I mean, it feels fine. I don't know.
Okay, I would keep it there. Even and you.
Because I can't do anything else.
No, you can do other things, but I just think like within a couple days that will be your favorite spot because that's where your voice is gravitating to.
Okay.
Naturally.
Okay.
So now with that, you have two options: full classic playing it, which it'll still be fine for this one. This is made to be more operatic. This music specifically, or you can put a little bit of that mix in there. It's not quite it's in between because versus. Can you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Watch my tongue. It's quite a bit different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that placement though, that where you placed that overall was good. Then you just have to decide ah versus ah in the back. Whichever one is feeling the best to you, you should go with. Go by, feel, listen to it, feel, listen to it. But eventually, how you feel best should also match up with the sound as
Okay.
well.
Okay. All right.
Brilliant.
Tell me about my body placement
Yeah,
and expression.
I'm gonna have
on
you
stage.
perform for me, but go ahead and step to the side for a minute, and I will give you a little bit of that. So I'm gonna come over here. This is off stage, okay?
Okay.
So I'm off stage. I'm with people. I might be nervous. I might feel out of place.
Yeah.
Try to find
Has because they're all going to be
push
40
those.
years younger than me.
Well, last time there actually randomly was a couple, like, not older people, but like probably like 40, 50. So, but they came to support their daughter. I don't know.
So they didn't sing.
Yeah, they didn't sing. You will be the oldest person sings, but that's beautiful. Like, it's amazing. I do want to put more older people on. It's just there's not a lot of older people that risk taking voice lessons because they're already they don't want to be in the awkward zone there, or because they've already given up that they can help fix their voice. Versus,
or they've already got it figured out. So.
Or they've already got it figured out. One or the other. But, anyways, so off stage, you instead of thinking all those thoughts, you need to start putting them to the side, or be like, yes, I'm nervous, but I'm also gonna center. I want you to work out just breathing, even if it's not as obvious as breathing. What time is it, honey?
About 3:09.
3:09? Okay. You want to grab my shoes and stuff while I finish up my lesson? Okay. Okay, if we got, go ahead and use the restroom. But anyways, so I want you to, before you come on stage, to take a final breath. Like, if you're in another room, I would take the prep room or something. And then once you feel stable, like body position 2, and then you take that one final breath. Then walk. And walk in a way that's stable, not unstable. Walk in a way that's going to give you the most stability. That will give you a lot more confidence, just walking more stably and having breath so you don't pass out or hallucinate or whatever, right? So just that confidence, and then that good performer chest. You could bring a lot of maturity to that room in a good way, which I would love to have there just by having you do that, and it'll look so good. And then if I come on stage though, let's choose. Let's have this be the stage. So come on the side. And then I'm gonna just move out of here so you don't see that. You choose a spot, you ground yourself. Okay? What's the very first thing you're probably gonna do when you try to ground yourself? Look down.
Bend your knees.
You're gonna try to lock them because you're gonna be like, this is what strong or it's grounded is. No. So first you just find your placement. If it takes you an extra minute to adjust, just go ahead and take it. Obviously, it'll look better to not have to adjust, but if you need to adjust your weight, if you're already almost there, just give it a little test for now, just to make sure that you're in a place where you're comfortable, where it's like the shoulder width apart, one foot can be in front of the other, whatever you need to, but try to do that, obviously, and it usually doesn't take very long to adjust that. Usually you can do it within just a couple seconds. Once you're grounded, then you can feel free to, check your knees so that they're not locked, right?
Okay.
The little booty tuck knee thing, yeah, that tends to help. And then, and if you need to show that breath, even demonstrate that breath on stage, that's fine, because this is open mic night, and it's okay if they know that you're a little bit nervous or whatever that comes across. If you are trying to get away with not showing it as much, then feel free to, but you still, the more you can do with your mouth, that preps you for your singer's breath. So through your mouth is going to be best.
Okay.
So you can take one breath, then be like, hi, my name is, or you can take a step towards the mic if you're not already in place to do that, or bring the mic to you so you don't have to ruin your position at all, whichever you feel most comfortable. And then be like, hi, my name is Jan Barnes. Obviously you need to on my own by Les Mis, or by, if you want to put, let's say, the actual composer name, or arrangement, whatever. Just short and sweet to the point. And then you can put it back on the mic stand, or you just keep it in your hand. And then, on my own, but don't just go into it. Hi, my name's Jan Barnes, and I'm singing on my own. On my own. No, I mean, it does help that the karaoke has dun, 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 it gives you a couple bars. Use those bars though to just mentally get ready. Don't be staring. Don't deer in the headlights. Just think breathing. Where am I gonna come in when it goes dun 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 dun? breathe and then go on my own, but you'll be too late.
Mhm.
You will. So dun dun dun. I'd even start breathing maybe when it goes to dun, so that by the time it's on dun, you're like completely.
Okay.
And then on my own, you choose to come in. You know, if you had a accompanist, then you'd really even be able to even achieve this even greater, because then you could be like, and then on my own. But since there's a track, you can technically give them a signal if you tell them in advance. You technically be like, I'll signal you with a nod, or nods usually are the best. Well, but also on the off chance that they forget that or they just press play, you still luckily have those bars.
Yeah.
And so then just use it. Don't be like, they pressed it. Just be like breathing, counting, making sure that measures I'm coming in on time. And then on the note right before, or the beat or two right before, that's when you should start. And if you need a big breath that you breathe out and then breathe in, then start at the beginning of that last measure. Dun, 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 dun. On my own, but I still recommend wherever you end up breath-wise that you're breathing in on that second half of that last measure.
Okay. Yeah.
That really makes a difference, just there. On my own, pretending he's beside me, all alone. Yeah, and just make sure to keep those breaths. That will help you keep your brain operating and more, so you're less likely to blank out on words. Your breathing is key, followed by your stance. So go ahead and try walking on stage. Okay. And make sure you breathe in the other room. Okay, Jan, it's not your time to get on stage. Okay.
Okay.
Keep on.
Hi, my name is Jan Barnes, and I will be singing whatever I'm singing.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's good. Go ahead and try it again. And just your feet can be even just slightly farther apart if you want them to be, if it helps you.
Okay.
That looks a lot more relaxed. Good job. We won't have that there.
Hi, my name is Jan Barnes, and I will be singing On My Own from Les Mis.
Awesome. So now when you speak, you have a couple options. The lower notes tend to come out, lower voices tend to come out more relaxed, and that could help you potentially. But then if you do want to speak high, then you have to remember cheerleader a little bit. Then, hi, my name is Jan Barnes, and then you'll be using your actor voice.
Hi, my name is Jan Barnes.
Yep.
Okay.
More support.
Hi, my name is Jan Barnes, and I'll be singing On My Own by Les Mis. So
Did that
that's
help?
not-
Did
Yeah.
that help you?
Yeah.
And that sounds so much more confident than, hi, my name is Jan Barnes, which
Okay.
it wasn't to that degree, but I'm just
I
exaggerating.
understand.
Okay, go ahead.
What am I doing?
I want you to start at the top again, come here, introduce your name and your song.
Hi, my name is Jan Barnes, and I'll be singing On My Own from Les Mis. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
We'll get that.
Okay, so then
And if you do trip, then what do?
sign up and go on.
Yeah, you just keep going and be like, you can be like, I apologize, and then take another breath. My name is Jan Barnes, and you don't have to repeat Jan Barnes if that came out well. You could just repeat, I'll be singing for you Les Mis, if that's the way you tripped. And then that can sometimes help give you some extra couple seconds to calm down. Versus if you're just like, whatever, keep going, So you make sure you feel in control.
Okay. I don't want you to be disappointed or embarrassed.
No.
Fall on my face.
Well, but that's the beauty of open mic night. Now, we will have competitive open mic nights, and if that's not today and that's not now, and I'll let you know when the competitive ones happen too. But I want professional amateurs to professionals be able to have a place where they can be a little more relaxed, more comfortable, but without being too relaxed, where they do still feel a little bit of pressure to kind of build them up to higher platforms of pressure. So this is, if you were to choke, this would be the place to choke.
And I've decided, I mean, I'm gonna do my best, but if I choke, oh well.
Right, exactly, and it will be fine, and I will not be embarrassed at all. There's already been, I think yesterday there was at least one, maybe two people last week that choked a little bit, that had to restart or re-say what they were trying to say.
Yeah.
So that's fine. That's what's gonna happen in Open Mic Night. It'll be at least one person that chokes, and I totally understand you being a little extra intimidated just because people not being your age group.